The Aries Mission Timer. This one is a collab with MKC, Montana Knife Company. It's a watch that I just kind of got drawn into. I like the colorway. I like the splash of orange on the second hand. I knew it was going to pair up really good with this strap habit, camouflaged orange strap. I'll put a link down below with a code for the Strap Habit website. I have no affiliation with Aries. Quite frankly, I wish you all the luck in the world to even order an Aries. I've tried a couple of times with varying degrees of success. I have some other buddies that have also ordered Aries watches with varying degrees of success as well. I actually purchased this from a very good eBay seller and overpaid for it. But I can't say it that way. I paid over what the retail price was. I paid what the market was at the time. I think they maybe have settled down a little bit, but it's I'll see if I can put a link to his Instagram. The guy I bought it from is Montana Broncos. It's actually, so if you're into like old Broncos, Ford Broncos, pretty cool Instagram. Check it out. I'll put that down below too if I remember. But let's just cover the watch. This is not the first time I've had an Aries on the channel. This one has undergone some changes as well. Right away, the big noticeable thing is the way the bezel is attached. It is captured with these little screws, which is not anything new or innovative. Breitling's done it. I think Zinn's done it. There's been, throughout the history of watchmaking, many companies that have captured their bezels this way. It gives you the ability to pop it off and service it, adjust the tension on it. It gives you some options for it. I don't know that it's easier or harder necessarily. So if any of you guys are like watchmakers or parallel to a watchmaker, chime in the comments and let us all know your thoughts on a bezel captured this way. It is 120 click. I'm only going to give you the 15 clicks. It's one of those that sound and feel good pretty slow. If you ratchet it quick, it's not that great, but that's, why would you do it quick? It doesn't really matter. But let's talk about case size real quick, because I have a couple of measurements here for the width. So the case width, it's stainless steel and it's Cerakoted, which is awesome. They do a lot of this in-house too, and I want to talk more about that. But the case width is 41.2 millimeter. At the bezels, 42. You can see it overhangs just slightly, which aids in traction with that. And speaking of the traction on the bezel, it is awesome. It is just the right amount of depth in there to grab it and use it no problem, without being uncomfortable at all or sharp feeling. The lug to lug, which has drilled lugs, is 49.65 millimeter. The thickness, 13.5 millimeter. You have a flat sapphire crystal up top with a chamfer just sitting ever so slightly proud of the bezel. 22 millimeter lug opening. It came on this heavy-duty nylon single-pass strap with matching Cerakoted hardware, both with the MKC logo and the Aries logo. So nice hardware there. It comes in this, I think this is like a grenade tube. Any military guys out there want to confirm that? I think that's what they said. This is like how grenades come. I don't know if they mean like the launchable kind or the throwable kind or what that is. And then the crown offset over here in the 10 o'clock position, signed screw down, is a 7 millimeter crown. I want to quickly address the 13.5 millimeter, and for a diver, that is a perfect, thickness. But it's actually kind of remarkable because they actually test. There's a lot of in-house stuff with Aries, and they share it, but you got to dig for the information. It's not like clearly spelled out. It's like they're almost like secretly transparent, if that makes sense. Like the information's there, you just need to like dig it and understand what they're trying to tell you. But they actually test every watch to 100 bar, which is like 1,050 meter water resist. So super capable. They Cerakote the in-house. I'm pretty sure the cases are actually milled out in the USA. So there's a lot of USA stuff going on here, as well as assembly, of course. The movement is in this one, you can spec out automatics, but in this one, it is obviously a quartz. You can see the seconds hand ticking. It is a Swiss Ronda 715 Li lithium, has 5 joules, has some gold plating in spots, and it has a 10-year battery life with an end-of-life battery indicator. So that's awesome that it's going to have that longevity. With the runtime, you do have a date. I could have went without the date. I don't really care, but the date stuffed in between the 4 and 5 o'clock position. You can also see a super healthy application of C3 lume, sword handset, and it just seems like it's a really well-built sorted watch. Like I said, I've owned Aries watches before. The one I regret selling was the what was the one with the axes on it? Who was the book writer guy? I should have wrote that down. Jack Carr. It was the Jack Carr limited edition, and the axes were all loomed up. I never should have sold that one, and I know I sold it cheap. So as far as speaking of that, actually the resale on a lot of these Aries is like all over the place. So retail on this was $800, but they sold out very quick. And Montana Knife Company actually did a matching knife to kind of coordinate with this colorway, with this flat dark earth and then this black. So I don't have that. Maybe I'll purchase one of those at some point, but I'm not a knife guy, but I have knives. But, you know, I paid over $1,000. I don't remember what I paid. Doesn't really matter. I tend not to retain that information, but then I see them, you know, they'll pop up same one for like at or below what the retail was. So they're kind of all over the place, but I will tell you this, they don't tend to take a hit, meaning when it's $800, when you go to sell it, there's going to be maybe a % drop in the resale of it. It depends on how heavy you use it and stuff. But I've noticed that they seem to retain their value, or, you know, take a smaller hit than a lot of other brands out there, which is maybe part of the fact that they're difficult to get and they do small batches and all of that. So let me pop it on my 7 1/4 inch wrist so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, this is such a killer watch. Like, I have zero regrets purchasing this, and big thanks to the seller for, you know, communicating with me and hooking me up. And he sent me some like cool swag and stuff from his brand, the Montana Broncos. So very cool watch. And it was appropriate that it came from somebody in Montana. It was just, you know, he probably bought it. He was a knife guy. He bought it and then was just like, I'm never going to wear this, and sold it. And so there's probably quite a few people, depending on the collaboration with a lot of different watches, they'll do that. You know, they'll be like, it's awesome, I'm going to get it. And then they end up selling it because they don't integrate it into their daily life. Well, I'm a watch guy. If you're watching this, you're probably a watch guy. Maybe Aries works for you. Maybe it doesn't. Quick story, and then I'm going to do the lume, or I'll do the lume as I'm doing the story. The only reason I even know of Aries is about 5 years ago, I was doing a Random Rob meetup in Baltimore, and we went to an Orioles game where they whooped on the Yankees. It was a great game. It was fun to watch. A guy sitting like a row or two in front of us, you know, I'm hanging out with a bunch of watch buddies, and we're trying to figure out what the heck watch this guy's wearing. It had this red crown. I'm like, what watch has a red crown? So we've just asked him, you know, and so he told us it's Aries, it's automatic. They do the red crown with the automatics and blah, blah, blah. Never heard of the brand. Looked them up. Really cool. Go look them up. I'll put a link actually to the Aries and the Montana Knife Club for this watch, I guess, even though you can't get it. But both great companies. It's just, it might be a challenge to get the watch. Killer lume on this thing as well. So thanks for watching, guys. That's just a little bit of my watch addiction.